Thank you for listening to BizPod with me, Paul.
And me, Rachel.
Our weekly business English podcast where we talk about the news, social media, and hot topics from a business point of view. You'll get a podcast and links to the articles we discuss. This way you can share your thoughts too. Join us as we discuss what's on our minds this week.
Hi, Paul. How's your health?
My health in what aspect?
How do you feel?
Okay, I think. A bit tired maybe. Could do with a holiday.
Oh, yeah. Lovely. Okay.
Yeah. What about how's your health?
My health is very good. I'm feeling very, very good at the moment.
Yeah.
I just wonder, do you have any nightmares? Are you suffering from nightmares?
You mean because they could be an early warning sign of autoimmune diseases?
Yes, exactly. That's the article we've been reading this week from The Conversation.
Yeah. Now, it is an interesting idea that nightmares could be an early warning sign of problems, health problems, particularly mental health problems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or it says neurological. I think that sounds a lot nicer. Mental health. People sort of connect mental health with being crazy.
Okay.
A bit unhinged.
Okay.
Whereas neurological sounds a little bit more serious and,
Yeah. Okay. Well,
less crazy.
I'm happy to change my vocabulary. Like in the in this article, it talks about daymares instead of hallucinations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes the wording around a subject can be quite discriminating.
Give you a different connotation, a different impression of what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I would say physically my health is good.
Okay.
And I would also say from a mental health, neurological point of view, I'm okay.
Good.
What about you?
Yeah, fine. I mean, I just picked this article because I thought it seemed interesting.
Yeah, and it is a very interesting article.
Yeah, and it was making me think, sort of like post-COVID about people working from home, people taking time off because they're ill, how illnesses affect your ability to work. Are there more people who are actually not as healthy who, because they're working from home, are managing to work more now?
Yeah. No, that's an interesting question.
Are they having more people saying, "Oh, I can't work today," because they'd rather stay in bed?
Well, I think sort of, the sort of remote working, home working philosophy or the idea now, that does make it easier for people with health limitations,
mobility issues
to work. If you have issues that mean you can't or don't want to travel to an office every day, working from home is easier. Yeah.
And it saves the companies having to maybe reorganize the office so that certain people have access. Or I know when I worked for the big insurance company, we had a certain person who had certain challenges and they always had to have somebody else with them. So it wasn't just one person's schedule there to manage, it was the two together.
Okay.
Because they always had to have somebody on hand to help them if need be.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, from a company point of view, employing sort of people like people with challenges like that can be a challenge.
Yeah. With challenges can be a challenge.
Well, we know challenges can be challenging.
Yeah, and an additional consideration.
Okay,
Let's put it that way. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
It's not a problem. It's the new reality, isn't it? But I think it's nice now that there are more possibilities and opportunities for people.
Yeah. More people can sort of work from home, so that does make it easier in some cases. One thought I did have, though, was this idea or this medical term of long COVID. I can't remember the numbers involved, but there were potentially hundreds of thousands of people with this long COVID, suffering from long COVID symptoms that just don't seem to go away. And some of those symptoms can stop you working.
I don't think they understand them well enough. It seems to be a catch-all phrase for symptoms post having COVID that now people are left with health complaints.
Yeah.
And they don't understand the cause and they can't seem to solve them.
Yeah. One report that I read did say that long COVID is a mental health issue rather than a physical health issue. You know, all of these symptoms, they're all in your head, sort of thing.
Yeah.
What do you think to that?
That sounds a bit like somebody trying to close down the conversation, like on our last BizPod.
Yeah, it's all in your head. It could be. It also sounds like the Victorian era sort of medication.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with you. It's all in your head.
Let's attach a leech.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But I mean, what do you think about nightmares? Do you think nightmares are an excuse for somebody to say they're not able to work?
No, definitely not. A nightmare is just a nightmare.
Okay.
I mean, it might be a symptom or a sign of other issues, but the nightmare itself is not a reason to not work.
Okay.
Otherwise, nobody'd work. We'd all be having nightmares and we couldn't work.
But some people have nightmares because of work. They're so stressed out.
Well, then you have to sort of solve the real problem, which is the work, not the nightmare.
Catch-22, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, what did you think about the article when it said about nightmares need to be, or daymares as well, need to be listed as new symptoms or indicators that patients who have certain things, one of them was called lupus, that they were going to have a flare-up.
Yeah.
So it's a reoccurring condition, or they have a certain reaction. Their body reacts negatively in a certain way in a certain situation. And having a nightmare or a series of nightmares or daymares is a way of predicting that they're about to have an episode.
Yeah, that's interesting. Obviously, it's predicting sort of more serious medical problems.
Yeah, something underlying.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I think everybody at some point has a nightmare. Especially children have nightmares. I think that's just a natural part of life. But I suppose when you're having constant nightmares, maybe that's a sign of something that needs a little bit of investigation.
What about you when you were a kid? Did you ever have a reoccurring nightmare?
Recurring? I don't think so, no.
Is there one particular nightmare you had that you remember even now?
No. No, I'm trying to think. It's all coming back to me now and it's really scary. No, I don't remember any of my nightmares, to be honest. Okay. Did you have a recurring nightmare?
There was 3 that I remember.
Wow, 3 recurring nightmares.
Yeah.
Okay, this is interesting.
One of them was about me being dead, and I was just in a big blank space of black.
Okay.
And there was nothing.
Okay.
And it just went on and there was nothing. Nothing.
What do you think that means or meant?
Well, it just freaked me out that when you're dead, that's it. There's nothing. But the dream would be I was in this black space.
And that was it? There
was nothing happening. There was nothing there, nothing going on. I mean, it probably only lasted a couple of seconds, but it felt like I was in this black space for hours.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Okay. Then the second one was that I was trying to fly like Superman, you put your arm up in the air.
Yeah.
And I kept not quite making it and sort of belly skidding. like a stone skipping across water, and I was just always trying to do it, boom, 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 and then trying to do it, boom, 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 and that went on for a long time. And
but hang on, let's analyse that. That's interesting. So you're either in a blank dark space with nothing, or you're failing to be Superman and skimming across the surface. Yeah. What do you think? I mean, is there a message there somewhere?
I don't know. But wait till you hear the third one.
Okay, is this better?
I dreamt that when I was in a room, I would suddenly sort of dissolve and liquidize, and then I would seep through the cracks in the bricks into the next room, and then I'd become solid again.
Wow.
And then I'd liquidize again, and I just couldn't control it. And I was forever going between the bricks and then forming again and then liquidizing again.
That's not a nightmare. That's like a superhero.
It wasn't nice because I wasn't solid. I couldn't keep still. I was going through the bricks all the time.
Yeah, you just obviously needed to learn to control your superhero skill, didn't you? You're a shapeshifter.
Oh, right. Okay.
Able to, so dissolve and move through seemingly solid objects. That's not a nightmare. That's like a great fantasy dream.
It didn't feel cool at the time.
How old were you? Do you remember?
Oh, God. I don't know. 7, 8,
Okay.
something like that, probably.
Yeah, so it probably is a nightmare then. But if you have that dream now, that'd be cool.
You'd be robbing a bank. You'd be seeping into the cracks into the bank vault to then formalise, get the money and liquidize it with you.
Oh, if you can liquidize the money or the gold and bring it out with you, yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
Yeah. I think everyone has, go through periods where they have nightmares and weird dreams. Maybe for a lot of people it's just a normal thing, but for some people it could be a sign of an underlying problem.
But I mean, thinking about work, thinking about the conversations you have with colleagues, I don't ever remember speaking about somebody who said, oh, they'd had a really bad dream. That dreams was one of the topics. I'm not talking between friends, I'm talking between work colleagues. Nobody talks about dreams.
Okay. Why do you think that is then?
I don't know, but do you remember talking to somebody about them saying they'd had a bad dream? It's a bit too personal, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. I don't remember ever talking to anyone about my dreams, apart from you.
Yeah, but that's a personal. I'm saying on a professional basis.
Yeah.
It is a topic a bit, I would say, alongside politics and religion.
Okay. I'm going to make sure that I talk about it more regularly then, because I love talking about politics and religion.
No.
I do.
You rant about religion and you tell me to shut up about politics.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I rant. I know I rant about politics. They should be all put up against the wall and shot.
On that note, election. Yes, everybody, there's an election coming up.
Yeah, is it July?
July the 4th.
Okay.
So there is going to be a BizPod on the election. Oh, yes.
Oh, I'm sure that between now and then there's going to be lots of BizPods about politics.
No, just one. We'll just do one.
Only one? Are you sure?
Well, we might do one before the election and one after. How's that?
Okay.
Analyse the data, do some number crunching.
Number crunching, yeah. We'll look at the polls before, and then we'll look at the outcome afterwards.
There we go. So there you go, guys. You know what's coming.
Okay. So, dreams and nightmares. Yeah. I think, mental health, it's something that everyone needs to be aware of in your personal lives and in your work life. Mm-hmm.
That's it, really.
Yeah.
It's just an interesting article. That's the only reason we picked it. It was something totally off the wall and different. Have a look at it. It's got some great vocabulary, very challenging. But again, we do recommend the conversation if you want to read different articles about different things.
Absolutely.
And it's free.
Have a great weekend, everybody. See you next week.
Bye.
Thanks for listening. We hope you liked our podcast. And please don't forget to subscribe and stay connected with us. Until next time, goodbye.